Hi, this is Scott from Beyond the Numbers, and welcome to today's blog. And it's pricing strategy one from my book, 10 Cash Flow Strategies for a Successful Business. And the reason why it's number one is because pricing is the easiest way to increase cash flow. And by increasing your prices, you don't really have to do much, but you're going to have greater profit, rise in profit and cash flow. The problem is many business owners, they work hard to get their product right and to attract customers, but they don't spend much time on their pricing. So let's just start off with an example. So there was a Chinese silk manufacturer, and they manufactured silk scarves. And they sold their scarves for 250 yuan. I hope I pronounced that right. And at that price, they were able to make a good profit, but also be competitive. They were so competitive that there was a French company which bought the same scarves off them, and then packaged them, and then they sold them for 2,500 yuan, so 10 times the price. Now, being price competitive, you would think that they would be able to sell more, but however, it was the other way around. So the French company actually outsold the Chinese manufacturer by a large margin, and with the margin being so large and with the price difference being so large, they decided that it couldn't have been branding, which was the reason why being able to sell it for so much more. And so they started doing some research, and once they researched their customers, they found out that their customers weren't buying for themselves. The customers were actually buying the silk scarves as presents for who they were buying the presents for. And so when the potential customers looked at the price of the scarves, they thought, well, that's too cheap to buy that scarf as a present. So they'd go off and buy the scarf that was 10 times the price. So this is a great example of pricing based on your customers and their perception, then pricing based on industry norms, like using a cost plus price or an hourly rate. So the key to a successful business is having a great pricing strategy. So a higher price and a higher quantity leads to a higher profit and higher cash flow. Now, price is equal to value. The value to your customer. The price your customer is willing to pay, thus the price your business can charge, is always the perceived value of the customer's eyes, and that's where you're going to meet the sweet spot when it comes to revenue. Now, so let's look at the cash flow survival strategy for this blog post. So our 3 points. First, as I've just mentioned, price is equal to the value of the customer. Now, as that last slide said, many business owners work hard to get the price right and trying to attract new potential customers, but they spend a little time on the decision that rewards all the hard work, and that's setting the price. And one of the main reasons, I believe, is that there's a lack of education. So many small businesses will use strategies that are based on their point of view, strategies such as cost plus pricing, what the competitors are charging. So our first point is that price is equal to the value of the customer. The second point is we must understand why your customer is buying from you. And because the reason why they're buying from you influences how much they're willing to pay or their perceived value. So you may not be maximizing your revenue because you're focusing on your profit margin and not on your customer's perceived value. The silk manufacturer was able to increase their revenue and their profit and their cash flow when they understood why their customer was buying their product. So, and then once you understand, then you set the price based on value. So I'll just leave you with a couple of questions. So do you understand why your customer is buying from you? And it may be completely different what you think, just like the Chinese silk manufacturer. And then secondly, what opportunities are there in your business to change pricing on some products or some services. Just start small, start with one, and then work from there. Anyway, that's all for today's blog. Our next blog post will be on strategy 4, and that's on debtors. And if you haven't already downloaded, you can download my book at beyondthenumbers.com.au /cash-flow-ebook. Thanks a lot.